Right. Well, good morning, everyone. I'd like to bring the August 19th, 2020 Planning Advisory Commission meeting to order. We'll first rise for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, and if you will, turn around and look at the flag there because these are down at the Civic Center now. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. And I will please ask you to silence, and I'm going to do that. Silence or turn off your cell phones. Today we're operating under much different circumstances. As most meetings are now being held, we have some commissioners that are watching by television or YouTube, and we're forwarding questions to me via text. We will have citizens calling in via phone with questions and or comments, so we ask those watching here and by other means to be patient with us as we move these cases forward. The phone number in which to call in is 706-225-3937, and it should be scrolling on your screen for those that are watching electronically. I remind those in the audience, those watching on TV, this is the first hearing of any rezoning text change, special exception request brought before us here today. We will first hear a reading of the staff report for the case by planning staff and ask the applicant to provide a brief overview of the request. We will then give the opportunity for anyone in the audience to speak for or against that request or to inquire about the said request. Commissioners will have time for any needed discussion on the case. Once a motion is made and seconded by the commission, a vote will take place and recommendation will be rendered. The case will go back to the planning department for their independent recommendation. If a favorable recommendation is given, then the case is forwarded on to City Council with the two independent recommendations. If the planning department makes a recommendation for denial, the applicant will then have 10 days from a receipt of a letter stating the denial to notify the clerk of council that they are requesting to be placed on City Council's agenda. City Council of Columbus will hold a public meeting, which is the normal council meeting. First reading, said council shall consider the case, review PAC and planning department recommendations, and hear discussion on the matter. Council will make a final decision at a second public meeting, and that'll be called the second reading. So our first agenda item today is approve the minutes of the previous meeting. We did have everybody have an opportunity to get a copy of those minutes. Anyone have any changes? And I'm noticing there's none on text. In fact, Mr. Dudley has said he is good with the minutes. So any changes, recommendations? All right, we'll consider those accepted. All right, we have one rezoning case this morning, and this case is REZN 07202197. This is a request to rezone 0.66 acres of land located at 7290D Blackman Road. Current zoning is GC, General Commercial. Proposed zoning is RE1, Real Estate, Residential Estate 1. The proposed use is detention pond. Ben Billings is the applicant, and this property is located in Council District 6. Mr. Gary Allen, but we'll hear from Mr. John Renfroe on the staff report, please.
Yes, sir. The general land use is inconsistent for planning area B. The current land use designation is general commercial. Future is general commercial. It is compatible with existing land uses. The property does not lie within the floodway and floodplain area. The developer will need an approved drainage plan prior to an issuance of a site development permit. If a permit is required, property is served by all city services. There will be no traffic impact. This site shall meet the codes and regulations of the Columbus Consolidated Government for residential usage. No school impact, no buffer requirements, no Fort Benning recommendation, no DRI recommendation. The surrounding zoning, north is J.R. Allen Parkway, south is general commercial, east is residential estate 1, west is general commercial. 10 property owners within 300 feet of the subject properties were notified of the rezoning case. The planning department received no calls and or emails regarding the rezoning. Excuse me. Additional information, lot combination was denied due to parcel 101-030-007 being general commercial and parcel number 101-030-004 being RE1. We don't allow dual zoning for one single parcel. They have to both be the same to do a lot combination.
I just had one, because I was trying to find, follow all those, the application PDF and the site plan is for some other property. Although the first one that we zoning on, I'm talking about the Trello and the PAC staff report, those are the correct ones for this, this project.
The site plan on Trello, track 1C is the one that they're trying to rezone. And then if, on the application, let me go to that real quick. Yeah, it's track 1C. It's a little over a half acre, the 7292D.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, that answers your question. All right, any other questions of zone of the planning department? All right, Mr. Billings, if you would please come up to the microphone and state your name and address for the record, please. Tell us
Good
what
morning, Ben Billings. I live at 6518 Billings Lake Drive in Heritage Place subdivision. We are asking to rezone our detention pond, which is just under 1 acre of land. It's for the 3 commercial lots that are in front of it between there and Blackman Road. We're not asking to change the use of the detention pond, obviously, but we're trying to combine 2 tracts, which are 2 different zonings. We didn't want to try to rezone the property butting up to Sonoma Point for commercial use. And it's been said that we could rezone the detention pond down to RE1 to get what we want to be able to replant the property. What flows into this, out of our detention pond into this flood area is state waters off the J.R. Allen Parkway. There's wetlands in there. We take the storm water off of Santee Court, flows into Sonoma Point's detention pond. From there it flows into Greystone Summit's detention pond. None of that's going to change. This is just a matter of rezoning to be able to plat 2 pieces of property into one.
Okay. All right. Commissioners, do you have any questions? Anyone? All right. Thank you, Mr. Billings.
Thank you.
Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak for or against this case? Please come forward at this time. And I don't think so. The only other person shaking their heads.
That's my lovely wife.
That's your lovely wife. Well, thank you for coming this morning. You get to watch him do his thing. All right. Any questions, any comments? Commissioners, open up the floor for
The only problem I had was finding the place, because 7200 block, when I plotted on Google, takes me north side of J.R. Parkway. When I actually look at the map, I had to do some research to find a place, because the aerial view that I have was no construction on it. That's where the ramp goes, and that's where I saw the sign as I was coming into the ramp. I thought, okay, so I had to turn around and try to find it. So is that the correct address for this?
Yes.
Okay.
It is correct. And I did write it too, but I noticed it backs up to the little Walmart neighborhood center there.
Right.
And then it, meanders on around by there. So it's correct.
All right. Appreciate it.
All right.
It actually butts up to the Walmart's detention pond.
Correct. All right. So the floor is open for a proposal here. Yes, sir.
In case REZN 07202197, a request to rezone .66 acres at 7290D Blackman Road. Current zoning is GC, proposed is RE1. I recommend this be approved.
All right, we have a motion for approval. Do we have a second? Second, Mr. Brannon. Any discussion? All those in favor to approve this motion, raise your right hand. All opposed by the same. And it is unanimous. Thank you, Mr. Billings.
Thank you.
And that concludes our cases for today. We have a little bit of new business that we're going to talk about. Today is Michael Greenblatt's last meeting, and we thank you, Michael, for your service. We appreciate your years of service and your dedication to this board, and also Coach Wallace Davis last meeting, if he had been here. We thank you for your service. Mr. Greenblatt is watching by YouTube or Facebook, whatever he's watching. We will have 2 new commissioners that will be recognized at the September 2nd meeting. And we also have three cases scheduled for that. So if you could just take a look at your calendar and let's make sure we try to have a quorum for those 3 cases. In old business, I think at that point, we're going to be taking a look at the handbook, possibly right after we bring our new members on, correct?
Yes, sir. That'll be sent out with the next PAC documents before
Okay.
that meeting, so everybody can review them and either bring them or email them back to me once you've looked at them. So we
Yeah,
can.
please take a moment and read through that, and kind of gives you a better understanding of policy and procedure for this particular board. All right, is there any other old business? We are adjourned. Thank you.